By biohacking, if we mean making the process, the health promoting activities easier and enjoyable so that we can incorporate that into our daily lives, then we don't need to look much further than our centenarian friends who are teaching us how they've been doing that for daily, practically, simply, and successfully.
Welcome back. You're watching the Dr. Nandi Show. Very interesting show today, and I'm sure all of you have heard of the blue zones. And those are, for those of you who haven't, those are places where centenarians not only live, but thrive in life as well. So what kind of biohacks can we learn from these 100-plus-year-olds, right? Well, that's what my next guest is going to tell us. She worked with Blue Zone researchers and has visited a few of the locations. Please welcome holistic nutrition expert and longevity health practitioner, Carolyn Angel. Thank you so much for coming, of course. So centenarians and biohacking, it just seems like those terms shouldn't really come together in one sentence, but they do, don't they?
Yeah, it seems that way at first. So if we mean by biohacking, if we mean making the process, the health promoting activities easier and enjoyable so that we can incorporate that into our daily lives, then we don't need to look much further than our centenarian friends who are teaching us how they've been doing that for daily, practically, simply, and successfully.
And
right?
you know, I tell a lot of my patients sometimes in order to go forward, you have to go backwards, don't we?
Yes.
There are a lot of things that we already knew that we've forgotten. Yes. And the centenarians and the blue zones have really taught us. And you've got this amazing book called The 50 Shades of Grains. Is this a PG-13 rated R book? Am I going to be able to read it? Is it going to get hot and steamy in here? What's going on? Tell us all about this.
It's going to be very hopeful. It gives a lot of hope to a lot of people because a lot of people have a love and hate relationship with
grain.
With bread and grains, right? You know, modern grains are so different than the ancient grains. And so I dissected that in the book, and I talk about all the 50 shades of the levels of how to consume health-promoting bread instead of the non-health promoting breads that contribute to diseases.
Now, what about centenarians? What kinds of diet did they have, and what kinds of beliefs that they have that really people, contrary to what we do now?
It's like the kind of foods that they consume, it's already naturally abundant with nutrients, so they don't have to worry about what they're eating. All they have to do is make sure that they're sourcing their food that's local, seasonal, and traditionally processed, basically using ancient practices. And the rest is they eat whatever they want, and they eat to their biochemical individuality.
Isn't that
so
amazing?
You can't go to a place where you see everyone's eating the same food. Some may be consuming a lot more pastas, which was shocking to me, right? But their pastas are coming from flours that have been produced using non-GMO, not hybridized to death, no pesticides, you know, and the way it's stored and the way it's processed, the way it is made into flour, it's not using high speed and high heat that breaks down the fragile molecule of a grain.
It's beautiful to watch that. And I think that here's the thing, you know, if we had 10,000 years for the changes that have happened in the last 20, 30, 40 years, if our bodies could have 10,000 years to adjust to that, we could tolerate it. But as you mentioned, the centenarians, they eat food the way it's made. It's seasonal because before we had refrigeration, it had to be seasonal.
Exactly.
And that's what your body can tolerate. So here's the thing, it's common sense, right? The hack is that don't overthink it. Do things that your body has done for thousands of years. So fresh fruits and vegetables, less processed foods. As far as the grains, you know, try to find bread bakers and people who process grains the traditional way rather than the way it's processed. I have so many patients that go to Europe and they have no problems. And so that's the way to do it. The hacking is going backwards. Great stuff. Thank you for traveling all over the world and bringing that information to us. I really appreciate it. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Partha Nandi. And if you enjoyed that video, you're going to love the next one. It's full of incredible information to help you start your health hero journey.